12 legendary sea monsters that haunt our oceans. The ocean keeps its secrets well. In its midnight depths, where sunlight has never touched and pressure would crush human bones to powder, something stirs. These are the creatures that have terrorized. Sailors inspired nightmares and reminded us that Earth's largest wilderness remains utterly alien to us. The Kraken. When islands come alive, you're sailing through calm Nordic waters when the sea begins to churn. What you thought was a distant island starts to move. Eyes the size of ship wheels break the surface, followed by tentacles thick as ancient oaks. This is the Kraken. Not just folklore's biggest squid, but a living island of flesh and fury. Norse. Sailors didn't just fear this beast, they mapped it. "Here be monsters," they scrawled on charts, marking waters where the Kraken supposedly dwelled. When the water began to foam and bubble, experienced sailors knew to flee, because if you could see the Kraken clearly, you were already within its grasp. Here's what makes your skin crawl. Giant squids are absolutely real. We filmed our first, one alive only in the 2000s. Before that, we had only battle scars on sperm whales and fragments of tentacles washing ashore. The ocean covers 80% of our planet, yet we've explored less than 5% of it. In those crushing depths, in trenches deeper than mountains are tall, what else might be waiting? Jörmungandr. The world-eaters embrace. Some monsters are just big. Others are apocalyptic. Jörmungandr, the Midgard serpent, wraps around the entire Earth like a living noose, grasping its own tail in an eternal circle of destruction. This isn't just Loki's son, it's the end of everything made flesh. According to Norse prophecy, when Jörmungandr releases its tail, Ragnarok begins. The serpent will rise from the ocean depths to face Thor in their final battle. Both will die. Thor will slay the beast, but take only 9 steps before the serpent's venom claims him. It's mythology's most metal mutual destruction. What haunts us isn't whether a world serpent exists, but the terrifying metaphor it represents. Something slowly encircling us while we're too distracted to notice until it's far too late. Megalodon, the real monster. Unlike the others, this nightmare was absolutely real. Imagine a shark the length of a bowling alley, with jaws that could swallow a car whole and teeth the size of your hand. For 15 million years, Megalodon ruled the oceans as the apex predator that even other apex predators feared. We find it's fossilized, teeth on every continent. Some so perfectly preserved, they look like they were lost yesterday, not millions of years ago. Each tooth tells a story of absolute oceanic dominance, of whales hunted to extinction, of an ecosystem shaped entirely by one perfect killing machine. The most chilling part? Some of those teeth look disturbingly fresh. Deep-sea fishing nets occasionally pull up massive, unidentifiable teeth. Sonar readings detect colossal moving shapes in oceanic trenches, and in the deepest parts of the Pacific, where the water is perpetually black and the pressure would liquefy steel, something might still be hunting. Umibozu, the monk of silence. When the storm suddenly stops and an unnatural calm settles over, Japanese waters, fishermen know to pray. The silence isn't peaceful, it's predatory. From the glassy surface rises Umibozu, the sea monk, a featureless titan whose very presence turns the ocean into a mirror of death. No face, no expression, just a mountainous silhouette rising from the depths. Some describe arms reaching toward the sky. Others see only a massive head breaching the surface like a living island. Either way, ships caught in Umibozu's presence simply vanish, not destroyed, not sunk, but absorbed into the creature's terrible stillness. Legend offers one escape. If the creature asks for a bucket, give it one without a bottom, while it struggles. With this impossible task, you might have moments to flee, but most sailors never get the chance to test this theory. The sea eater, hunger without form. This is the monster that coastal communities whisper about but never name directly. The sea eater has no fixed shape, no recognizable features, just smooth seal-like skin stretched over something impossibly vast and perpetually hungry. Its mouth splits its bulk in half, a cavern of consumption that appears beneath boats without warning. Scandinavian and Canadian fishermen tell identical stories. Calm waters, perfect weather, and then nothing. Boats vanish without sending distress. Signals without leaving debris, without even rippling the water. The ocean simply decides not to give them back. The sea eater doesn't attack in rage or hunt for territory. It consumes because consumption is its nature, as inevitable as gravity, and just as impersonal. In the deepest ocean trenches, where the pressure would crush submarines and no light has ever penetrated, something that large could remain hidden indefinitely. Ogopogo, Canada's lake. Serpent Lake Okanagan in British Columbia harbors something that shouldn't exist in freshwater. A 49-foot serpent with dark, muscular coils and intelligent eyes. The Syilx people knew it first as N-Izaltka-W, a powerful spirit demanding offerings for safe passage across the lake. Since 1926, dozens of witnesses have reported sightings. A horse-like head breaking the surface, massive coils undulating. Through the water, something far too large and serpentine to be any known lake creature. The photographs are frustratingly blurry, the videos inevitably shaky, but the consistent descriptions span generations. Scientists dismiss most sightings as floating logs or light distortions, but locals know their lake. They've seen logs before. Logs don't swim upstream against currents, don't surface with purposeful intelligence, don't inspire the bone-deep fear that comes from meeting something that watches you back. The Bloop, a voice from the abyss. In 1997, underwater microphones recorded something impossible, a sound so massive it was detected across 3,000 miles of ocean. The Bloop wasn't just loud, it was orchestrated, purposeful, like a voice calling across the planetary darkness of the deep sea. The coordinates? Disturbingly close to where H.P. Lovecraft placed Arlier, Cthulhu's sunken city. Coincidence felt insufficient to explain the timing, the location, the sheer otherworldly nature of the sound. This wasn't whale song or geological activity. This was communication from something that shouldn't exist. Official science now claims it was an ice quake, glaciers fracturing underwater. But listen to the recording yourself. Hear how it rises and falls like a living voice, like something vast and ancient, stirring from eons of slumber. The ocean is full of sounds we can't identify, voices from depths we'll never reach. Nessie, Scotland's persistent mystery loch. Ness holds more than water. It cradles Scotland's most enduring enigma. Since 565 AD, when St. Columba reportedly encountered a water beast, this dark lake has spawned thousands of sightings, countless expeditions, and one inescapable question: what lurks beneath? The famous surgeon's photograph from 1934 was eventually revealed as a hoax, but that admission only intensified the mystery. Why fake evidence of something that might not exist? Why has this particular lake, among all the world's bodies of water, become synonymous with hidden monsters? Modern sonar has detected large, moving objects in the loch's depths. Underwater cameras have captured unexplained shapes. The lake connects to the ocean through underground channels, making it a potential highway for creatures we've never classified. In water so dark and deep that sunlight never reaches the bottom, anything could be waiting. Sirens, beauty that kills forget. Disney's Singing Princess. The original mermaids were apex predators that hunted with supernatural beauty and voices that could shatter human willpower. Ancient sailors described them as creatures of impossible allure, hiding razor-sharp teeth, dead eyes, and a hunger for human flesh that was both literal and spiritual. These weren't fish-tailed maidens lounging on rocks. Early sirens were depicted as half-bird, half-woman creatures that would descend from coastal cliffs to drag ships onto the rocks. Their songs didn't inspire love. They induced madness, compelling sailors to leap overboard and swim toward their own destruction. The transformation from bird to fish happened over centuries of retelling, but the core truth remained. Beauty in the ocean is often a hunting strategy. Even today, mysterious disappearances plague certain coastal areas, and fishermen report hearing impossible songs carrying across the waves on windless nights. Titanoboa. When snakes ruled Earth, 60 million years ago in the steaming swamps of prehistoric Colombia, something that makes modern pythons look like garden worms dominated the ecosystem. Titanoboa was 50 feet of pure crushing power, thick as a telephone pole, and strong enough to snap a crocodile's spine with casual ease. This wasn't just a big snake. It was an ecosystem architect. Every other predator, every large fish, every creature that dared enter its swampy domain had to account for this living hydraulic press that moved through the water like a muscular river. We discovered Titanoboa only in 2009, finding vertebrae the size of human heads in a Colombian coal mine. Its skeleton now resides in the Smithsonian, but here's the terrifying possibility. The Amazon River basin today covers the exact same region where Titanoboa once ruled. In those muddy depths, among anacondas and caimans, something even larger might still be hunting. 11. El Grand Maha, the internet's newest nightmare born from digital age fears and deep-sea paranoia. El Grand Maha represents our modern terror of the unknown. At 2,200 feet long, with 6 pale eyes and a mouth full of sword-length teeth, this creature exists primarily in forum posts, grainy videos, and the collective nightmares of internet users. The legend began with mysterious Arctic sounds, deep, rhythmic pulses recorded by underwater microphones. Official explanations blamed shifting ice, but the sound seemed too regular, too purposeful. Then came blurry footage from deep-sea expeditions, massive shadows moving past cameras, shapes too large and coordinated to be geological. El Grand Maha proves that monsters evolve with our fears. In an age of satellite mapping and underwater exploration, our newest mythical creatures emerge from the few places still beyond human reach. The crushing depths of polar oceans, where even our most advanced technology feels inadequate. Ningen, the Antarctic Phantom Inn. The icy waters surrounding Antarctica, Japanese research crews began reporting something impossible. Massive, white, human-shaped figures swimming beneath the ice. The Ningen, measuring up to 98 feet long, appears humanoid but featureless. No face, no expression, just pale flesh moving with impossible grace through the polar darkness. What makes the Ningen uniquely terrifying isn't its size or alien appearance, but its complete lack of physical evidence. No bodies have washed ashore, no clear photographs exist, no DNA samples have been recovered, yet the sightings continue, described with consistent detail by crews who have no reason to fabricate such specific encounters. Antarctica remains Earth's most alien continent, surrounded by waters so cold and remote that we know more about the surface of Mars than about what swims beneath the polar ice. In that white vastness, where the boundary between ice, water, and sky dissolves into luminous confusion, the Ningen represents our deepest fear, that something is watching us from places we'll never be able to explore. These creatures, real, mythical, or somewhere between, remind us that Earth remains fundamentally alien to us. We've named our planet after its land masses, but we're waterworld inhabitants who've barely glimpsed our true home's depths. Every deep-sea expedition discovers new species. Every oceanic survey reveals territories unmapped and ecosystems unknown, in trenches deeper than mountains are tall. In waters so pressurized, they would instantly liquefy human flesh. In temperatures so cold, they would freeze blood in seconds. Life not only survives, but thrives in ways we're still learning to imagine. The monsters in this collection aren't just stories. They're reminders that mystery still exists on Earth, that the unknown still has teeth, and that somewhere in the crushing darkness of the deep ocean, something might be looking back at us.